Good morning, people. Today we are going to be reviewing this, and this is a parcel sent to us from the lovely people at MJJC, and hopefully what is inside this box is a foam cannon, but more specifically this foam cannon, which is the S version 3, or in my case it will be a Karcher one. And just to say, I have actually been sent this free of charge, so thank you. This is the first video I've ever got that someone's actually sent me for free, but regardless, in my previous videos, I've always said that the MJJC, this is the Pro V2, is actually the best lance that I've got, but that isn't part of this test today. What we are going to test this against is the Autofinesse lance and the Autoglym lance. And you can get all three of these lances from, well, any of their websites. So the MJJC one you can get from their own website at £65 and 86p. You can then get the Autoglym Polar Blast lance from the Autoglym website for £46, and then you can get the Autofinesse one from their website as well for near enough £40. So that being said, let's open this up and see what we got. Good thing I did speed that up because that took me quite a while to open that up, but actually that's quite nice packaging, and I'm not saying that because they just sent me it. That's actually quite a nice, anyway, that's not what we're here for. Let's get rid of that. So let's pop this tab off and see what we got. So we've got the suction straw, the adapter. Mine is for a Karcher, obviously, so if you have a different pressure washer, yours will be different. The instructions, the nozzle, and obviously the bottle. Again, very well presented. I give an A-star for presentation. So let me set this up. Can't get it back in there now. Let me set this up after having a read through of the instruction booklet, which is actually quite good. That is nice and detailed. It does come with a 1-year warranty from the day of purchase. And as I said, I did get sent this for free, but I will still be honest. So the first down mark I will give it is it doesn't actually give you a replacement mesh filter. Luckily, the other MJJC product I've got, this did have a spare one, so I have got a spare mesh filter. As it does say here, there is a filter already inside there, but it doesn't come with a spare one, just to let you know. What is good, it does give you 2 orifices, so this one here is a 1.1mm nozzle, and the one inside the cannon is a 1.25. So what I am going to do firstly is swap that around to 1.1, because all the other ones have got that as well, to keep the test fair. So that's what I'm going to do now. So to change the orifice, all we're going to do inside here is a flathead. So grab your flathead screwdriver, whack that in there, and loosen this off. Just watch the way it comes out so you know to put it back in the same way. So that is now off. Put your hand underneath it and drop it out. And as we can see, that is all that's there. Go inside your bag, which I've already cut open just to save a bit of time, and pop out. So you've got the, can't think of the technical terminology, but that bit that goes on there. And this is the 1.1mm orifice here. So let me open it up in a really, really small bag that I can't open. So if we just hold them side by side, you should see there is a slight difference in there. So actually this nozzle is a lot smaller than this nozzle. So this is the one we're going to put in. Again, to put it in, pretty simple. Make sure you drop it in straight. This can probably be quite fiddly. I did just have to drop it in off camera because it was quite difficult to do in front of me. So once you line it up with the hole, slowly turn it, make sure it's going in straight so you don't cross thread it, and then just tighten it up. So now we have in here a 1.1mm orifice, because I know everyone loves to comment about my orifice. Giggity giggity. So make sure that's nice and tight. And to put the rest of it back, put the rest of it together, pop this on here. Make sure it's pushed in all the way. Just like that. You're going to then grab your adapter. Try not to cut yourself with a knife. Open this bag, whip that out, and then just tighten this up onto here. I'm doing this quickly because you will need to adjust, you know, where this goes on, well, my pressure washer, because it's a Karcher. If you have a push fit connector, then it will be a lot easier for you. But that is the gist of this. Just tighten it onto there, make sure you do this up tight, and then we pop it in the bottle. Oh, and it's not, oh, that's good. It's like, it's a quick release, so it's only a quarter of a turn or half a turn, and then it locks. That's quite good. And the reason the bottle is like this is because it's apparently a lot harder to knock over. Oh, I don't know about that. Sorry guys, sorry MJJC, I thought that they're not going to see me again after that. But yeah, so let me adjust it up. We're going to be using the bilt hamber snow foam today, well the Autofoam, sorry, because it's good stuff and it's a good price and I've got freelancers to fill. So that being said, let's fill them up. So just on first glance of opening them all up, the Autoglym one doesn't actually have a filter on the bottom. The Autofinesse one does have a filter on the bottom, and so does the MJJC. That also has a filter on the bottom. But the other two are plastic, where this one is more like a rubber or silicone material. Oh, you're very slinky. Anyway, we're going to be using quite a high concentration of the bilt hamber in my review of that. I know that it is, you know, my previous review, it is good stuff, so that's why we're using it. But as I said, we're going to be using quite a lot of it. So to get the full foam up out of all of them, because we want to see their full potential, is I'm going to be doing 200 milliliters of this in the Pyrex. So there's 200 ml, and then I'm going to add 800 ml of water. This way I then have a litre in each lance. Because we're going to be out there on the van, obviously we want a good suds up. So that's what I'm going to be pouring in each of them. I'll speed it up so that I don't bore you. That is all of them filled up now. So just from filling them up, what I will say is obviously the Autoglym one having the biggest entry hole, giggity, makes it easier. I always seem to spill it. I know I should just get a funnel, because there is a funnel right behind me. I just never can be bothered to get it. But I will say, so the Autoglym one only holds, well, a litre, because as we see it is literally right to the top. The volume in the Autofinesse one would be the most, because, well, look how much you can get in it. You can get 1.5 litres in there. And the MJJC one, you can get, oh, that's funny. Look, my measurements clearly weren't the best, because I've probably got about 900 ml in this one. What have I got in this one? Oh no, probably about the same actually, because it's under the 1 litre mark. And the Autoglym one doesn't actually have any measurements on the side of it. So for measurements on the jug itself, the MJJC one is the best, only because it's clear and the writing is easier to see as well, where it's just on this one, where it's, you know, like frosted white, it makes it a bit difficult. Anyway, I'm waffling on. Let's get out to the van and test these out. So I was actually seeing with it filled up how far you can actually push it before it goes over, and to be fair, you can go quite a decent amount. Oh, there you go, so that's the limit on that one. This one has a slightly wider base, so it should be okay as well. Oh, probably about the same. This one, where it's so big, you can go quite far with that one, and it stays upright quite easily. Well, that's my pointless tip over test. Let's go out to the van and let's just get on with the video. Right, so we are out here with the Renoir now, and admittedly, I did just do this video, but I didn't like it, so I'm redoing it again. That's why I've used up a little bit of the 2 bottles. So I'm starting off with the Autoglym one to show you how this looks on this side, and then I'll do the MJJC one here. So I have set them up to the same, you know, they're all using 1.1mm orifices. The bit is the same, I don't know the technical word for it, and the van is wet, and I do apologise if the sound is funny. I've got like a shroud around my camera, whatever you want to call it, because all my videos seem to have loads of wind. So hopefully it works. If you can't hear me, enjoy the video in silence. But yes, there's the Autoglym one on this side. Quickly pop this off. I'm working with the push fit connector, it spins, and the MJJC we'll use on this side. I'll try to use the Autofinesse on the far side, but I think where the van folds down, it might not get it looking as good. So that's it. So that is all 3 of them done. Annoyingly, that's spun a little bit on that. So this was the first one. This is the Autoglym one. This is the MJJC one. And this is the, I'll do it on the body, the Autofinesse one. So admittedly this one was on there obviously about 15 seconds before this one, but as we can see where I've wiped, it is already coming down in the middle. On the MJJC one, it is just starting to come down, and actually, on the face of it, the Autofinesse one actually seems to be doing the best. So we'll give it like another minute, I'll speed it up, and we'll see what one loses the hand mark first. So it's been about 2 minutes, I would probably say. Let me just move the camera a little bit closer. And the Autoglym one over here, this be real, most of it has actually gone. Most of it's all run off. The Autofinesse one, admittedly where I did my hand mark, that actually stayed clear, which is quite surprising, but the rest of it has run off. And we can also see that the MJJC, alright, this bit has come down, it will eventually come down, but the bottom of it is all still there. I will do this in a different order just to make sure it's not the panels that are affecting it too much, because I think this panel might run off a bit quicker where it's slanted in the window. So I'll do that test again with them in different positions. I'll speed it up so I don't bore you. Yeah, we'll just get to it. Actually for this test, this side of the van's still dry, so I'm going to do it quickly with it dry, but just in different positions as what I did to the other side. I'll speed it up. Yeah, let's go. So it's been about 2 minutes now. I'll move the camera a bit closer for you. I think we've pretty much got the same result on this side as we did on the other side. The Autoglym one has run quite a lot off the door, so I don't think the Autoglym one's done very well against these two. Not saying it's a bad lance, but not against these two. The Autofinesse one, the only way I can really judge them the same is by this panel, because when it gets to here, it kind of builds up here and then runs down a bit quicker. And that's the same with every lance and every product I've used, just on this door run a bit on this fan. So up on the top, there is definitely more on the MJJC lance than there is on the Autofinesse one. Although I will say the Autofinesse one has done pretty well, I don't think it's done as well as the MJJC one. What I'm going to do now, I'll wash all of this off, I'll do it again on the whole side, and we'll time it, and we'll see what one stays on the longest. Help if I had it in the correct place, wouldn't it? And I forgot my phone on the other side to start the timer. So it's been 3 minutes now. Well, maybe about 3 minutes 10 seconds because I was silly with the stopwatch. If we come up closer to it, you'll see that off the top it has run off. On the door panel, clearly the door panel, it runs off a lot quicker. The back panel, it is mostly gone, and the only place that it has stayed is on this panel, but not too much. So I'll do the MJJC one now for the same amount of time, and we'll see if it's any different. So all I've done is wash it off, and we're going to go to the MJJC. Okay, so that has gone everywhere, so I will start the timer and see how long it takes to come off. Well, no, not see how long it takes, we'll do 3 minutes and see what it looks like. That is just over 3 minutes. That way it's roughly the same as the Autofinesse one. And I'll bring it closer. We can immediately see it has stayed on the door a lot more. So I can't really test this bottom panel because it seems to run off quickly, as I said, with that runner. But you've still got a fair amount up here, and across this panel you do have good amount on there. So at the moment the MJJC has stayed on there probably better than the Autofinesse one. Well, I'm not saying probably, it has. It stayed on a lot better than the Autofinesse one after 3 minutes. And as I said, the bilt hamber one isn't the, I wouldn't say the most sudsy, but it is the best all-rounder. So last up, we've got the Autoglym one, which I have refilled because the lid didn't want to stay on. So I'm going to wash this one off and we'll do this one. So there's a good amount on there. Again, I am never ready with the stopwatch. So we've been just over 3 minutes now, and I'll take you closer. This has done a lot better on this side doing this test than it has on the previous ones. The door is quite a difficult one. Maybe the angle and the window, maybe it builds up some speed and trips down, the same as this back panel. There isn't actually hardly anything left on this top panel, and there isn't a lot left on this top panel. There is still a fair bit down here, obviously, where it's come down. So I think the two best ones here are the MJJC and the Autoglym one. I'm not having, you know, that's not me having a dig at the Autofinesse one, it's just not as good. Well, after doing this, because at first I thought the Autofinesse one was actually doing better. So actually at the moment, I'd say the MJJC is still doing better, followed by the Autoglym one. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to rinse this off one last time, and I'll do the Autoglym here, and the MJJC one here, and we will see how long they both take to come off. Again, try to do it quick, so... So there's that one. Push fit connector. So I have waited a little bit longer, nearly 4 minutes now. I'll reset that. But we can see that most of the Autoglym one has actually gone now. They've both gone from the top, but the MJJC one is still here at the bottom. So for staying on the car, the MJJC one seems to be like the winner. I'm just going to talk about the usability of it. I think that the quarter turn and pop off is a much, you know, that is really good actually. That makes that so much easier, whereas the other ones you had to actually screw them on properly. I will say it does feel like a more secure fit because you're tightening it up properly, but in terms of the Autoglym one, I'm certain I did tighten it up properly, and yet it's still come off. So yeah, with the Autoglym one I have got a push fit connector. Push fit connectors are good, I guess, but then they're annoying because they don't stay still unless I'm doing something wrong, but I can't get it to stay still. With the Autofinesse one, sorry, someone about 5 streets down is moving a ladder around, yet every time I do something like this, someone's always doing something else. The problem with the Autofinesse one is where this is like a solid barrel, and I tighten this, it doesn't go straight. So I could probably grab a pair of pliers and tighten it up some more, but it doesn't leak like this, but it is just a little bit offset. Whereas with this one, you can tighten it with this, and you can have this where you want it. So if you wanted to mount it sideways, you could. So for user friendliness, again, I'd say the MJJC one is probably the best one. I have added some more to this, by the way, but what this has got that the other two don't is an adjustable nozzle. So on all of them you can adjust this bit, so like the spread of it. So if you twist this, you see it gets wider and smaller, which is the same on this one. You twist this, it goes smaller and wider. But with this one you can also turn it like this, so you don't have to do any of this. You can just move this like this and it goes at more angles. With the other two you can't do this. As you see, you just turn this and it adjusts the spread. And the Autoglym one is also the same, where this is just one solid barrel, so all it does is adjust this. So as an all-rounder, I still say the MJJC one is still the one to go for. Just for fun, we have got a super duper concentrated amount, just to see how foamy it can actually go, because why not? It's my video. Yo, look at that. Oh, look at that, ain't even dripping. Look, you could, oh, look, you could do smiley faces. That is, look at that, is oozing thickness. Look at that, that's saucy, in it. That's. Second thought, I'm going to give you a better view of that because that was pretty cool. So cool, isn't it? Right, now I'm going to clean the back. Right, the conclusion to this video. In third place, it's going to have to be the Autofinesse lance. There is nothing wrong with the second and third place in this test. It's just when you compare them together, there is a clear winner. This does have good points. It is a nice big bottle and a nice big base, so it's much more sturdy. But in this test, it finishes third. The Autoglym lance is going to come second. Nothing wrong with it, really user friendly, and probably the best thing with this is you can get this anywhere. This is available on so many websites and it's inside so many shops. Very user friendly. I'm not a fan of the quick connect on this one, but hey ho. But for this test, there is only one winner, and it is the SV3. And honestly, the devil's in the detail. I mean, the clear bottle on its own makes it so much easier, and then just to top that off, the quick fit release. Look at the core of a turn. That is such a good idea. I don't understand why no one's done that before. I'm not just saying that because they've sent me it as well. I'm not saying that. That is genuine. If that was any other one that had that, I'd have been, why is no one else doing this? You can adjust it. You can see it. Even it's also good. And I didn't realise that that's actually weighted so that you can, so no matter where you turn it, it gets all the product in there. So I didn't actually know that. That's quite a good idea. I will accept that this is the most expensive here, so you would probably say it should do the best. But it is £20 more than the second most expensive one here, which is the Autoglym one. But for the £20, you do get, I would say, £20 worth of performance out of it, you know, with the adjustable spray, the clear bottle, the quick fit release, you know, 100% it is worth the extra £20. And as I said, you can get these all from their respective websites, and at the moment it is £65.86 on their website. I will be doing probably another video shortly comparing it to this one, which this one for me is the bee's knees right here. It's always been the bee's knees. It's been the bee's knees in all my videos. So I will say, from just going outside there, I couldn't tell you what one of these two is actually better at the moment. I would probably have to review them separately, but at the moment they are both actually the same price, £65.86 for the V2 and £65.86 for the SV3. I believe that this is technically the higher up version, so just to say, this is the highest spec one. Well, I thought it was the highest spec one, so that is why I didn't compare these two in the video. First I was doing it to, you know, a more cheaper solution one. So yeah, SV3, good foam canner. So hope you enjoy the video, and thanks for watching.